How to Win Friends and Influence People, How to Win People to Your Way of Thinking. We're on the principle which says, try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Dale Carnegie says that when he lived in New York, there was a gorgeous park outside of his home that he used to go in all the time. And he absolutely loved the oak trees. They were beautiful. But he said quite often, he said there were fires that got started in this and destroyed much of the forest and the park. And he says, there was actually illegal to have fire in the park, and it wasn't lightning. He says usually it was people starting fires, oftentimes kids, that would cause these fires to rage and burn things down. And he says, and they had mounted police on horses, but he says they didn't really police the park, and I couldn't get them talked into it because they didn't see it the way that I did. So he says, I took it upon myself to go around. He said, anytime I would see little kids playing with fires, he said, I would light into them and threaten them with jail and calling the police. And in other words, he said, I just went after them with what I wanted. And he says, it never worked. So he says, I decided maybe I should try it a different way. So he came to them with this thought in mind. He says, I'm going to talk to them as though I were them, which is exactly the principle that he teaches here. And so he did. And guess what? He would ride up or walk up and he would say to them, hi boys, how are you doing this evening? What are we having for dinner? And he goes, boy, I remember as a kid that I used to love to start fires and do these things. And he says, not everybody's as sharp as you guys. He goes, sometimes they leave the leaves around. And in other words, he talked to them like he and they were on the same team and talked about other people who may not do what they're doing. And he said, in so doing, I was able to help teach them how to pull leaves away from the fire so the fire wouldn't spread. And he said they were very open to it because I was friendly and I saw things from their perspective. My friends, no matter what the situation is in your life, no matter what you're trying to tackle, always keep in mind that other people have a perspective. And if you will come at the situation, the challenge, the problem, the opportunity, keeping their perspective in mind, my friends, you will get much farther than if you think only about your own.